Note the disclaimer, and remember that my Patreon supporters got to see preview images, work-in-progress shots, and high-resolution images of the completed figure. If you want to join them, the link will be in the description. Hello out there, my friends! This is WakeAngel2001 coming at you with a commission for Pawniard11. He wanted Mecha Sonic, of the type seen as the boss in Sonic and Knuckles. This is also known as Silver Sonic Mark II, or some people just think that it's a really big advanced Metal Sonic, but you know, Sonic Adventure, you can go into Eggman's base and you see that there's like two robot Sonics in tubes. One of them is the iconic Metal Sonic, and the other one is this guy. So that's proof that Dr. Eggman has built at least two Mecha Sonics out there. Well, two different robot Sonics. One is called Mecha Sonic, the other is called Metal Sonic. So yeah, that's the thing that I'm trying to get at. Okay, so I've made Mecha Sonic at least once before, and as you all know, I use a Star Wars medical droid to do that. And I don't see any reason to deviate from the formula, as it's still the ideal figure with the best proportions for making this character. Of course, the big flaw is that the figure can't be dismantled, so I had to do it piecemeal, one bit at a time, because since I can't take the arms and legs off, I had to wait until one part finishes hardening before I can get on to the next, or risk accidentally smooshing something. So the torso just needed some decorative details after I cut off all that erroneous rubber hose piping that he has all over his body. And the forearms are just a whole bunch of sculpted armor, including a pair of Sonic hands, the only actual part of a Sonic figure that this figure actually uses. The shins are also built around the robot's actual shins. This means that he loses his ankle articulation because of all the heavy sculpting around there, but the new feet are large enough that he can still stand in quite a few poses without the need for moving the feet around. Now, once all that is done, then I move on to the head, because I needed to make sure that it wouldn't clip into the shoulders or backpack, and it's actually a really complicated deal. So first, of course, is bulking up the volume of the original Star Wars droid head a little first, and then putting on details like the muzzle, ears, and the three central spines. And this is the delicate part, because if you allow the spines to harden the wrong way, then they can get stuck in the backpack. I actually had to put a piece of metal in the way to keep that straight so that it wouldn't clip into it too much. Then, once that central part all hardened, then I could build the outer part, which includes the forehead, a few more spines, and the eye visor. So once all the figure was sculpted, then I could finally start painting it. Yeah, that's why you haven't been seeing me painting the parts individually, is because the whole thing had to be built first and then painted. And so there we go. He has a black nose, the eye visor, that whole two-tone Cyclops thing he has going on. The insides of his ears are black. And I did a trick for the silver parts, because in that sprite, Mecha Sonic is all just various shades of blue on blue, and anything that's not blue is just, shading, like shadows being cast on itself. So my trick was to first paint his silver parts with a light blue color, and then paint the silver over that, creating a silver that has a blue tint to it. I think that that's the best way to replicate the color morph that this particular Sonic figure has. So with all that done, let's pull the camera back and take a look at the completed figure. And there it is! The torso looks a little bit more elongated than what you're used to seeing for Sonic figures, but it actually helps with the height. This figure is actually about 4¼ inches tall, which is a pretty good height for considering how towering and imposing this robot looked in the game. So, when you work with custom figures, you gotta work with the proportions of what you're given. It's not like I can actually make my own buck from scratch, because I don't have that kind of equipment. I guess theoretically I could do it with my 3D printer, but I'm way off being able to do something like that. It's gonna be a long time before I learn to do something that sophisticated. But we have Mecha Sonic with all of his Healy glory. Like, I still get a kick at the wheels on the back of his heels. Like, Mecha Sonic invented the Healy several years before the Healy ever became a thing. Isn't that just the funniest thing ever? Like Sonic has always been on the cutting edge of shoes, like having buckles instead of laces, having Heelys, soap shoes that let you grind without a skateboard or rollerblades. Like, Sonic has always been at the head of shoe technology. Okay, so that's that. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.